Slide is visible to all.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
in yesterday classes, previous classes, we have discussed about the cheek, lip. So I told you uh, cheek and lip are musculomembranous structures that have externally the skin and the internally mucous membrane and the muscular structures. So between the mucous membrane and muscular structures, there have some gland that was labial gland and the buccal gland. I told you in case of the chick, there was three gland in case of the cattle: dorsal buccal gland, ventral buccal gland, and the middle buccal gland. So here today we will discuss about the tongue of all domestic animals. So this tongue is also a musculomembranous structures. Tongue is also musculomembranous structures that is situated inside the oral cavity. That is situated inside the oral cavity, and it lies between the floor of the oral cavity and and from the ventral to the hard palate. So if you will see the tongue, this tongue is a mobile, prehensile, and the tactile organs. I told you in case of the lip, in case of the horse, the lip is the prehensile organ. Lip is the prehensile organ. Prehensile organ means that is that help in the catching the food or grasping the food. Here, in case of the ox, tongue is the prehensile organ. Tongue is the prehensile organ. Major prehensile organ is the tongue in case of the ox. But in case of the horse, it was lip. Lip was the major prehensile organ in case of the horse. But here, in case of the ox, prehensile organ is the tongue. So this tongue is the mobile. It means it have movement and prehensile and the tactile organ because it have also the some sensory structures. That's why it is also the tactile organ. All these things are responsible for the chemical and the mechanical selection of the food. Chemical and mechanical selection of the food for the animals. Here, another thing, it play important role in the mastication, deglutition, and sucking in the newborn also. As I told you, this tongue is situated on the floor of the oral cavity, in between the two ramus of the mandible. In between the two ramus of the mandible, I have already discussed about the mandible, dorsal ramus, and the vertical ramus. So these things, this tongue is situated between the two horizontal ramus of the mandible, and it is supported by the mylohyoideus muscles. As I told you, this mylohyoideus muscles is situated between the horizontal ramus of the mandible, and caudally it tongue is attached with the hyoid bone. Caudally it tongue is attached with the hyoid bone. I told you in hyoid bone there is some lingual process. There is one small rounded lingual process. So that lingual process is posteriorly attached with the tongue. Lingual process of the hyoid process is attached with the caudal part of the tongue. So if both jaw are in contact, then complete oral cavity is filled with the tongue. If we will see the complete in contact with the upper jaw and the lower jaw, then this oral cavity is completely fixed inside the completely accommodate the entire cavity of the oral cavity. So this tongue has the made up of striated muscles, some connective tissues, adipose tissues, granular tissue. What are these things? Adipose tissue, granular tissue. We will discuss in the histology classes. Because what type of the gland is there, what type of the connective tissue is there, we will discuss in the histology classes. Here, if you will see the next thing, the picture of the tongue. There's some network issue. So, if you will see the description purpose of the tongue, if you will see the description purpose of the tongue, this tongue has the three part. Tongue has three part: root, body, and the tip. Root, body, and the tip. The posterior part is the root. You see this one. This is the root of the tongue. This is the root of the tongue. Here, this middle portion, this entire is the body of the tongue, and here is the tip of the tongue, root, body, and the tip of the tongue. So there are three structures, three part of the tongue, that is the root, body, and the tip. Now, root, as name indicating, it is the posterior part and attached with the hyoid bone. This posterior part of the tongue is attached with the hyoid bone and soft palate and the pharynx. So, if you will see the picture of the tongue, here you see this one is the epiglottis, this is the membranous structures of the soft palate. So this root is attached with the soft palate and the pharynx and hyoid bone also. Now this middle muscular part, this one is the body. This entire is the body. This one is the body, and anterior most conical part, this is the tip. So the middle part is the body, that forming the most of the part of the tongue. This body is the bulk of the tongue, which has extensive lateral surface along with the dorsal and the ventral surface. So see, this body have the dorsal surface, ventral surface, and lateral surface also. Now, free pointed anterior most part of the tongue is called the tip of the tongue. This is dorso-ventrally flattened. This one. This is tip. This is dorso-ventrally flattened, and it has the dorsal part and the ventral part. Because the tip is the somewhat thin than that of the body, so in the tip of the tongue there is no lateral surface. Here there is no lateral surface, but the body have the somewhat thicker part. So this body have the dorsal surface, ventral surface, and also the lateral surface. So if you will see the mucous membrane of the tongue, this mucous membrane entirely cover the dorsum of the tongue. That is the dorsal surface of the tongue, or this is also called dorsum lingui. Dorsal surface of the tongue, dorsal aspect of the tongue is also called dorsum lingui. So this mucous membrane is rough and thick on the dorsal surface of the tongue. Mucous membrane is generally rough and thick on the dorsal surface, and it wears the greater part, while the ventral and the lateral surface has thin mucous membrane. Has thin mucous membrane. Okay. So if we will ask you the mucous membrane of the tongue, at which place you will get the thickest mucous membrane, so you have to answer the dorsal aspect of the tongue is the thickest mucous membrane, whereas the ventral and lateral surface have thin mucous membrane. If you will see some foldings of the mucous membrane in the tongue, there are three foldings of the mucous membrane. First is a frenulum linguae, anterior pillar or palatoglossal arch, and the glossoepiglottic fold. I already discussed in the last classes that what is the frenulum linguae. This frenulum linguae is the nothing. This is the fold of the mucous membrane. This is the fold of the mucous membrane that connect the ventral surface of the tongue to the floor of mouth cavity. To the floor of the mouth cavity. So frenulum linguae is nothing, that is the fold of mucous membrane that situated or that connect the ventral surface of the tongue to the floor of oral cavity. Another fold, that is the anterior pillars or the palatoglossal arch, name indicating palatoglossal arch. Palato means palatine, it means the soft palate or hard palate. Glossal means the tongue. So this anterior pillar attached to the tongue, posterior aspect of the tongue, or you can say the root of the tongue to the soft palate. Root of the tongue to the soft palate. So anterior pillars or palatoglossal arch is nothing, that is the fold of the mucous membrane that connect the root of the tongue to the soft palate. Okay. Likewise, another fold, that is the glossoepiglottic fold. Glossoepiglottic fold. This glossoepiglottic fold, name indicating, glosso means tongue, epiglottis means the epiglottis. Epiglottis, that is the part of the larynx. So a fold between the tongue and the epiglottis, that is called the glossoepiglottic fold. That a fold of the mucous membrane, you see, this is the epiglottis. This one is the epiglottis. And here between the epiglottis and the root of the tongue and one attachment with mucous membrane, that is called glossoepiglottic fold. That is called glossoepiglottic fold. Now, if you will talk about the surface of the tongue, that is the two surface. That is two surface. What are those? What are those? Dorsal surface and the ventral surface. Dorsal surface and the ventral surface. Okay. Now, dorsal surface, I told you, this dorsal surface is also called the dorsum linguae. Dorsal surface is also called dorsum linguae or the dorsum of the tongue. Don't confuse. Dorsal surface is called dorsum linguae. So this dorsal surface facing towards the hard palate. This tongue का dorsal surface किधर face करेगा? Towards the hard palate. It facing towards the hard palate throughout, except the posterior part or the glossoepiglottic space. Except the posterior part or glossoepiglottic space. So if you will discuss about the dorsal surface of the tongue, there are so many papillae are present on the dorsal surface of the tongue. What are those papillae? If you will see the dorsal surface of the tongue, in the dorsal surface of the tongue, you will get so many papillae like filiform papillae, fungiform papillae, circumvallate papillae. There are four major types of the papillae: filiform, fungiform, lenticular, and the circumvallate papillae. Lenticular and the circumvallate papillae. Lenticular and the circumvallate papillae. One important thing, if you will see the dorsal surface of the tongue on the posterior view, you will get one oval elliptical rounded elevation. This is the oval elliptical eminence on the posterior surface, posterior part of the tongue. You will get oval elliptical eminence, that is called the torus linguae. So you see, this is the eminence. This is called the torus linguae. This elevation, rounded oval elevation, is called the torus linguae. Another thing, just in front of the torus linguae, this is the torus linguae, this one. Just in front of the torus linguae, you see this one. A transverse funnel shaped depression is there. This one. A transverse funnel shaped groove or depression is there. That is called the fossa linguae. That is called fossa linguae. So on the dorsal surface of the tongue, what you will find? Torus linguae and the fossa linguae or lingual fossa. Fossa linguae or lingual fossa, both are the same, and the torus linguae. Okay. Now, if we will talk about the papillae, I told you there are four major papillae, that is the filiform, fungiform, lenticular, and the circumvallate papillae. One more papillae, that is the conical papillae. So you see, this is the papillae, filiform papillae, fungiform papillae, conical papillae, lenticular papillae, circumvallate papillae. Now you see, this filiform papillae is here. This one is the smaller one. This is the filiform papillae. How you will differentiate the filiform papillae and the fungiform papillae? So this small, very small papillae, multiple in number on the dorsal surface of the tongue, or more prominent on the anterior or front of the fossa linguae, that is the filiform papillae. Here is the filiform papillae. Another papillae you see in the colored picture. Yeah, here. You see here, you see the filiform papillae. This one is the filiform papillae. And you can easily differentiate some smaller, rounded, elevated, some whitish color papillae. Are you visible? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you see.
Yes, sir.
You can easily differentiate. You see this white rounded one. This is the fungiform papillae. This is the fungiform papillae. The remaining all papillae in front of fossa linguae, that is the filiform papillae. This is filiform papillae. And here on the torus linguae, here also you see two kinds of the papillae is there on the torus linguae. One is the white color rounded elevated papillae. Another one is the some smaller than the this one. So this rounded and white color elevated papillae, that is the lenticular papillae, and remaining this smaller one, that is the conical papillae. This one is the conical papillae. So this lenticular papillae only you will find on the torus linguae, on the surface of the torus linguae, and filiform and fungiform papillae you will found in front of the fossa linguae, and here at this level you will found circumvallate papillae. Here in this picture, which is not visible clearly, here you see this one, this rounded one, this one. This is the circumvallate papillae. This is the circumvallate papillae. This one is the circumvallate papillae. So here you see, I told you filiform papillae is the very fine, pointed, numerous, and distributed throughout the dorsal surface of the tongue, and just rostral to the fossa linguae. And important thing is that this filiform papillae is the, if you will see very fine, then it will be visible. It's caudally directed. And what is the role of this papillae? This papillae, it gives the roughness and rasp-like nature to the tongue. So it provides the roughness to the tongue and well adapted to use of the tongue as a prehensile organ during the grazing time. So this papillae gives roughness-like appearance or roughness-like nature of the tongue. So can animal catch the food during the grazing very comfortably. Okay. Another thing, that is the conical papillae. I told you this conical papillae are large, blunt, and conical, lies on in front of the torus linguae. Another thing is the lenticular papillae. Lenticular papillae, I told you, lenticular papillae is found on the torus linguae. Lenticular papillae you will find on the torus linguae. So these three papillae, what are those? These three papillae, filiform papillae, filiform, conical, and lenticular papillae. These three are in mechanical in function. Mechanical in function means it help in the catching the food. It help in the catching the food. Another thing, you see this picture. Lingual papillae in the fungiform papillae. I have discussed about the filiform, conical, and lenticular papillae. Likewise, fungiform papillae is the rounded, free-ended, and it is scattered throughout the dorsum. It is scattered throughout the dorsum and lateral surface of the body also, and on the ends of the tip. You can easily differentiate the fungiform papillae from that of the filiform papillae on the gross appearance, but in histologically we can more easily differentiate. We will discuss in the histology section. Circumvallate papillae, this is the very important. Circumvallate papillae is 8 to 17 in number. You have to remember. This circumvallate papillae are number is the fixed, that varies number is the 8 to 17 in number, and it arranges in form of the long narrow group or irregular row. You see, this is in the group or irregular row. Important thing, it is situated on the lateral margin of the root. It is situated on the lateral margin of the root of the tongue. Another thing, they are rounded and their exposed surface sunk in a deep depression. So these papillae you cannot fill on the gross appearance. These papillae you cannot fill with the touch on the gross appearance, because this papillae goes inside the tissue and it form a motte. Or you can say like this. This papillae goes inside the tissue and it forms a motte-like appearance. And its sensory structure is situated within this motte. So this circumvallate papillae is not elevated on the surface of the tongue. It goes inside the tissue. And it forms the motte. Hence, they do not project above the surface of the tongue. As I told you, it does not project above the surface of the tongue. Important thing is that these fungiform and circumvallate papillae have the taste bud. That's why it is the gustatory in function, or it is the gustatory in nature. So out of these 5 papillae, only fungiform and circumvallate papillae have the taste bud. Remaining all are mechanical in function, and these 2 are gustatory in function. Is it clear? Now, what about the ventral surface of the tongue? Ventral surface of the tongue is related with the muscles, related with the lingual muscles, that is the muscles of the tongue. So I told you these muscles are the mainly extrinsic muscles and some intrinsic muscles also there. So on the root of the tongue, we will discuss in the next classes also the whole muscles, what are the different muscles of the tongue. So on the root of the tongue and the lateral aspect, glossoepiglottic fold have many small orifices. On the lateral surface of the root of the tongue, on the lateral aspect of the root of the tongue, we will find some small orifices. That orifices for the crypt of lingual tonsil. So lingual tonsil is there. So lingual tonsils orifices is situated on the lateral aspect of the root of the tongue. What is the meaning of tonsil? First, tonsil is the nothing, that is the accumulation of the lymphocytes. We will discuss more in the histology about the tonsil. So this is about the ventral surface. Now, in case of the horse, if you will say in case of the horse, this tongue is very long and narrow. Tongue is very long and narrow. Body shows extensive lateral surface. Important thing, porous lingua is absent. Tip is the spatula-like, and mucous membrane is not pigmented. You see this one. This is the spatula-like tip. Spatula-like tip. Here important thing, one more papillae is there, that is the foliate papillae. This one is the foliate papillae. This one is the foliate papillae. And important thing is the circumvallate papillae is only 2 in number. Circumvallate papillae is the 2 to 3 in number. Beside all normal papillae, there is one special type of the papillae, that is the foliate papillae. So you have to remember foliate papillae is present in case of the horse, but that is absent in the ox. Absent in the ox. This foliate papillae is also present in the dog. So in case of the horse, you have to remember circumvallate papillae are 2 in number, and foliate papillae is present on the lateral surface of the root of the tongue, and the tip is the spatula shape. If you will see in case of the dog, tongue is wide, thin in front and the thick posteriorly. Here it is also more mobile because it is used to drink the intake of the liquids or intake of the water. One important thing is the sulcus linguae. Here, in case of the dog, you will see here on the dorsal surface of the tongue, you see one median line is there. This is the sulcus linguae. This is the sulcus linguae. Sulcus linguae only is present in case of the dog. What about the papillae? Here also filiform papillae, circumvallate papillae is 2 to 3 in number. Foliate papillae is there. Foliate papillae is small. And important thing, this fungiform papillae are red in color. Fungiform papillae are red in color. One very important thing in case of the dog tongue, here on the interior aspect of the tip of the tongue, you will find some fusiform cord-like structures, fusiform fibrous tissue, and made up of adipose tissue, striated muscles. That structure is called lisa. One fibrous cord-like structures on the interior tip of the tongue that made up of the fibrous tissue, adipose tissue, and striated muscles fiber, that is called lisa. So this lisa facilitate to catch the liquid feed or the water. So this lisa is embedded in the genioglossus muscles. So these things we have to remember. Lisa is present in case of the tongue of dog. What about in case of the pig? It is long and pointed. The tongue is the tip is long and the pointed. Important thing is the circumvallate papillae is the 2 in number. Foliate papillae is there. This is the tip of the tongue in case of the pig. Foliate papillae is here. This one is the foliate papillae on the lateral aspect of the root, and here is the circumvallate papillae 2 in numbers. Okay. Now tongue of the fowl, where this is the almost triangular in appearance, and the root of the tongue has the transverse row of the horny papillae. This is the important thing. On the root of the tongue, you will find horny papillae. This one. And it is almost triangular in shape. Transverse row of the horny papillae in case of the fowl. So this is the tongue of the fowl. So this is all about the tongue. If you have any doubt, any questions regarding this, you can ask me. Today by 3 o'clock, we will take one more classes. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.